All right. Good morning, everybody. This is our little podcast that we are redoing from yesterday, since we got a lot of comments saying that they complain about the podcast being too short. We now have a couple more people now in this podcast, some including some special guests. We're gonna start off with Trenton. Trenton, present yourself, and then go down the line.
Yo, my name is Trenton.
My name is Frankie.
My name is Eduardo.
Ammo.
Our special guests are muted,
My name is Anthony.
and I don't know
Okay,
who
and
caused this.
the guys this way.
All right. So as the podcast goes on, you guys can tell whoever speaks, the camera's gonna switch to, and that's how you will know who is talking. Um, so that's something I just wanted to go over. Either way, I heard Frankie, you wanted to start asking Eduardo some questions, so you can go ahead and do that now.
Well, I mean, first off, our topic is, to break it down simply, it's just about institutional oppression in America. That's nothing new. It's been a thing that's
So I'm
been
actually muted
going
right
on
now
for
because
like
I don't want to get
hundreds of
banned.
years,
Um,
but it hasn't really ended. It's more so changed and changed format and all that. So, you know, there's a lot of ways that it's been acknowledged and addressed, but more so in music, more specifically rap music, which is something me and Eduardo are big fans of. So I wanted to ask Eduardo, what are some songs that, he personally likes that talk about stuff like that? So, Eduardo.
Yeah, so one of the biggest rap groups in the 90s, NWA, really talked about the police brutality done throughout the 80s and 90s. One of the cases they talked about was Rodney King.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One of their songs, they talked about their own experiences with police and oppression done by them. So one of the lyrics done by Ice Cube in the group is a young N-word got it bad 'cause I'm brown. And not the other color. So police think they have the authority to kill minority.
Mm-hmm.
And another rapper, one of the if not one of the best rappers of all time, Tupac
Well,
talked
slow your
about
roll right
one of
there.
his songs.
Being one of the best
One
rappers
of,
might be a stretch.
all right, so one of my favorite songs from him says, "When will I finally get to rest through this oppression? They punish the people that's asking questions. The message of stress to make it stop. Study your lessons."
Hmm.
And we have another song that Frank is gonna explain.
Yeah. So with the songs that you've mentioned so far, a lot of them, both of us, we're also part of a minority group. Um, we're not part of the more so, what's it called, desirables, especially because we got, a little bit more melanin compared to a lot of other people. But, one song that I really like that mentions, this stuff is from a rap duo called Black Star. And, one of the members, Yasin Bey, one of his lyrics or hooks, it talks about how, black men in America have been conditioned to just accept the way things are and, fear standing up to anything because, think the government is watching, et cetera, et cetera. But one of these lyrics say, not strong, only aggressive because the power ain't directed. That's why we're subjected to the will of the oppressive. Not free, we only license. Not live, we just exciting. Because the captives own the masters to what you writing. Not compassionate, only polite. We well trained. Our sincerities rehearsed and staged. It's just a game. Not good but well behaved because the camera survey. Most of the things that we think or do or say. I really like that, especially because it's talking about how the power, you know, it's it's not given to just anybody. It's withheld. It's held within one group, you know, and you know, it's something that isn't really spoken about like that, especially in music, which you know a lot of people believe music is directed by the majority, the ones who face the least discrimination. They gain more popularity. But I really appreciate that lyric, and you know, yeah. But if I could also ask you, Eduardo, um, how does it feel like to be part of a minority group and listen to these lyrics? Do you feel like you can resonate with them, or what could you say about it?
Feels like you can somewhat relate. Obviously, the black community has faced it more harsh,
Hmm.
through our life and our history.
Yeah.
And obviously, with the stuff going on with ICE and obviously with the stuff going on with ICE immigration, you don't feel like as, I guess, powerful. You
Yeah.
can see him from interviews, the news, obviously throughout the history with books, movies. You can ask even family members their experiences with being underpowered in this country.
Mm. All right. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Back to Axel.
That was a lovely segment by Frankie and Eduardo. That was great. Now, I wanted to ask Trenton over here a question. He's a little bit lonely out here. Trenton, um, how do you feel? Have you ever been oppressed by another minority group?
Um, yeah, definitely. An example would be, since the Bay Area where we live, there's mostly Hispanics, right?
Yeah.
And especially in Richmond, San Pablo, there's not many Asians around.
Oh,
So growing up, I was sort of excluded with the jokes, as you know, the C word, stuff about my eyes, this and that.
yeah.
No, just different. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that um I would see, not in real life. I've never heard this in real life. Um, I've seen this in media, so that's what I'm saying. Out here in America, some people have dark humor, but also dark humor could affect us people or minority groups. Why have I been banned, bro? All right, I'm back. So, as I was saying, I got banned previously. Um, there's some TV shows that be using humor, um, just to hide it as a. I don't know if like I'm scared to even say this word. I'm gonna just type it out in the bottom.
Or just spell it out.
Okay, I typed it out in the chat. I'm not gonna send it because obviously I can't send it. But yeah. So for example, Family Guy. There's a scene where Peter Griffin is doing a test exam, math specifically as well, and so he pulls out this Asian student out of nowhere. I think out of his backpack, and he says, "Hey, you, do this math for me," and then the guy just goes straight into it and starts like solving this problem like less than 5 seconds. And that's one of the stereotypes that kind of goes on with the Asian community. And even though you could be saying, "Oh, they're just doing that because they're calling him smart," um, it could still be really hurtful towards that person, um, without the oppressor even knowing. Um, but yeah, it's just messed up um how the R word is just used in media like that, and just it's just very open. Nobody really stops it. It's just there, right? Um, but another thing I wanted to ask y'all actually, as a minority group, have y'all's family or have you yourself ever oppressed another minority group? This could be for anybody to answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can add on to that. So for instance, let's say like you pass by like this really nice neighborhood or something, and it's like really clean, no litter on the ground, things like that, nice cars,
Yeah.
leaving the garages open. What the stereotype me, some of my friends would be saying is like, oh, this is a white people area,
Yeah.
because it's nice, it's clean, not dirty at all. You know, they trust their neighbors, having the garages open and stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's a big stereotype for white people to have.
Frankie, you were gonna say something? But we get the point. But I also do want to say, just because me or Trenton or Eduardo or Frankie are part of a minority group doesn't mean we can't oppress another minority group, because it has happened multiple times. This can date back all the way to I can't oh dude, I'm scared. Um to the transatlantic S word trade, right? So Latin America received majority of the black people that were brought from the Americas. Brazil alone imported 4 million African Americans, or Africans, sorry, more than any other country, which is insane. Um, but that's just how the Latin American minority group oppressed this other group, which were the black people, which were washed away from their roots, due to this trade. And it even happens. I see this only with like older people, where in my minority group, which is Mexican, they just think the worst of black people, which saddens me, because they get one example of this bad and conditioned black person, and they just think it goes out for all other black people in the community, which it's not true. It's not true. Again, racial profiling. You can't be judging a book by its cover. Um,
Could I add on to racial profiling?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
So, like you said, racial profiling is a big problem within the black community. You know, I've seen online like all these dash cams of these black men, black women getting oppressed by these cops, like getting stopped for no reason, getting stopped for speeding, even though they're going speed limit on their dash cam. It got so bad to the point of where TV shows, movies, they all express that these things are real and do happen, and like the shootings is bad. Racial profiling is not it at all.
It's a horrible thing out here in America, and sadly, there's not a lot that we could do about it, especially with under this
Can I
presidency.
that was talked about earlier?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I said before a couple of minutes ago, or almost 5 minutes ago, about the media. One example I wanted to bring in was the show South Park. You can see almost anything
Oh yeah,
uh,
South Park is a big thing. South
being
Park is
yeah,
interesting.
being talked about certain groups. Obviously, one of the characters is Jewish, and he's always getting attacked for it. And one of the game they actually made a game. The South Park show actually made a game where when you first download the game
Yeah,
and start up the game,
yeah,
you could choose your difficulty, and so the difficulty is the darker your skin is, the harder the game is. And obviously, what was said that the media tries to make it in a way where it's funny, but some people are being hurt by it. Yeah.
yeah. Of course, you can't. My bad. Pedro's in the chat telling you to speak up. Um, you can't just expect to be all jokes with everybody when you don't know that, um, if somebody's gonna be offended by that, you know. And that's just how it is. You just gotta be
Hmm.
careful. You gotta ask them, hey, like, are you cool with me saying this, or like, hey, um, but obviously with like games like that, you can't just ask the whole United States of America, hey, Is it cool if we just put this in the game and you won't be offended by it? Of course, it's gonna be mixed reactions. Um, but either way, again, media is free. It's like it's just freedom of speech at that point, bro. That they're abusing. I don't want to say abusing. Um, but that's just what they do, bro. It's the media. It's the media. Anything can be put out in the media. But I think we are reaching the end of this podcast. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Anything? Any other comments? Special guests? You guys want to add anything? Anything?
No, I think that's good.
I think I've elaborated enough.
Yeah.
I mean, what I could say is just be aware of what you're saying, because you never know if you could be joking about it and hurting that certain group. But I can't with
Love that.
I can't with Luis in the comments, bro. You know, see what Luis has put in the comments?
You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is another like oppression thing. Open your eyes, Trenton. You see, we can't be doing this, guys.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
come on, Luis.
more game.
it's
Yeah, gotta be more mature, bro.
it's actually sad out here, and that could be a joke, but that could really offend Trenton, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. I think that'll be it for today. I want to thank our special guests. I want to thank Trenton, Eduardo, and Frankie. That sadly is not with us right now because he got banned. I hope you guys really like it. We did it because you guys wanted it to. You guys wanted it to be longer. Yeah, bro. All right. All right. You guys have a good one. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in.
See ya.
Thank you.